Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Tyler, and the CIF Track and Field video is brought to you by the fine folks at Naples Rib Company, and all of our track and field coverage is sponsored by Joe Carlson and Debbie Hughes. We were out at a gloomy, rainy, and very cold Moorpark High School again for the 2025 CIF Southern Section Track and Field Championships. Long Beach drove an hour and a half to claim our championships. The girls 4x1 starts this battle between Wilson and Polly in lanes 4 and 5, two of the top 6 teams in California this year. Layla Holland, a great opening leg for the Track Rabbits, quickly making up the stagger to give Polly a nice lead when she passes off to Jalen Hunter. For Wilson, London Weston's going to pass to Sanaya Bernardo as they look to keep pace. Going into the second pass, Polly in front, Anaya Brooks is going to be on leg 3. Wilson counters with Kaylin Edwards coming up next. And once this pass gets made and they hit the curve, you see the cream rise to the top. Polly in first, Wilson closing in second. The Track Rabbits, though, in good position with Brooklyn Lee on the anchor. Wilson's got Lauren Edwards to finish. It's really a two-team race at this point. Long Beach to the front for sure, and Lee's going to put down a great split to cap off the gold for Polly as they win it in a time of 46.05. Wilson takes silver at 46.99. Now to the boys 4x1. Polly the favorites in this one and hoping to start out their title quest. Jarius Hill, the lead leg in the all-black for Polly. A different lineup without Julius Juju Johnson, who's out injured, unfortunately, and missed this meet. But Hill gets Polly going. Malachi Dawson takes the pass. A smooth exchange as Polly is out towards the front. And now Polly in the lead here as Jalen McNeil is going to run the curve, and he would prepare to pass to Dante Wright on the anchor. Unfortunately, we encounter some drama as the Jackrabbits are unable to make the pass. Sorry, I had some heads in the way there. A nightmare situation for Polly as the baton does not get around and they do not finish the race. Let's go back in slow-mo, see what happened. McNeil's on the inside of his lane. The runner in white in lane 4 does step into Polly's lane slightly. Seems to change McNeil's stride, maybe. Not sure if there's contact right there. It's kind of tough to see, but you know, any fraction of a second that slows your momentum can throw off the timing in such a precise race like this. McNeil adamant that there was obstruction, and he does have a point on stepping over the lane line, but Polly does not finish and lose important points in their title quest. Now over to the jumps pit, Jonathan Weston flying in for a 7th place finish, 21.4 1/4 for the football defensive back out on the jumps. And the girls' long jump, no surprise, as Lauren Webster takes gold again, repeating as champion. 18.6 1/2 was her best mark as she snags 10 points for the Bruins. Now vibes were high at the high jump, where the aptly named Joy Anderson joins former CIF champ Jill Wetland in this event for the Track Rabbits. Anderson, more than just a hooper, she's a jumper too, and she's going to get the clearance here. Her best height was 5'4". Nobody got up higher, though, than Wetland, the senior. Won this event as a freshman. She's going to clear at 5'6" for the Jackrabbits, and that would be enough to get her back atop the podium. Anderson going to take 5th, and that is 14 points for the Jackrabbits in that event. Back to the track, the girls' 100 hurdles. 3 from Wilson and 1 from Polly in this race. Sanaya Bernardo in 3, Kaylin Edwards in 5, Polly's Cadence Bain in 6, Aileen Washington in 7 for Wilson. And coming at you, it's going to be Edwards, 13.90 her time to take gold for Wilson. Bain 3rd, 14.51. Washington 4th, 14.53. And Bernardo from Wilson, 14.80 to take 6th. Now, the boys' 110 hurdles, Polly's Lennox Newton in lane 5, the top qualifier in this event. He has a close race with Oak Hill's Karan Clayton on his right and your left, coming right at you. Newton with a solid performance, going sub 14 for silver, just 0.07 off the winner. Newton's time, 13.96 for the Jackrabbits. 4 more Long Beach athletes in the girls' 400. Wilson's Brooke Blue in lane 4. Then Sanaya Bernardo in 7 with Polly's Jalen Hunter and Araya Betty on either side of her. An even start all the way around, but once we get to the back stretch of this race, the legs started to get heavy. Bernardo and Blue up near the front for this final stretch. And it's Bernardo in lane 7 with the gas in the tank to finish strong for gold. Only runner sub 55. She runs a 54.88. Polly's Betty in 4th, 56.52. Blue 5th in 57.18. Hunter 8th in 58.37, but got injured in that race, so tough to see that for sure. Now to the boys 400, Poly's Noah Smith in lane 2, teammate Jerris Hill right there in lane 5 as well. And for Wilson, Caden Burrows in lane 8. There's so many of our athletes in these races, it's hard to keep up. Smith and Burrows been facing off in this event all year, and Hill has been adding his name to the mix for sure. Jack Stottleman from Temecula Valley, a tough competitor right there in the gold as he pulls away for the win. Still some valuable points out there as Smith closes for silver, 2/10 ahead of Burrows in third, and Hill is going to clock in fifth, 48-35 for Poly. We got J-Town in the building, the Division II Girls 100. It's Armani Johnson over in lane 1 in the white and gray for the Panthers. This race had multiple delays and false starts, a long time on the track, but Johnson runs well to take 6th from the outside lane in a time of 12:27 as the senior is able to finish her career at the CIF finals. Now, 4 more league runners in the girls D1 race. Lakewood's Amaya Rice in 2, Poly's Layla Holland in 3, Brooklyn Lee in 8 for Poly, and Wilson's Lauren Webster over in 9. Chaparral's Keelan Wright is going to win this one in lane 6, but Lee running well over in 8. She would take the bronze for Poly in 11:84, Rice 4th, 11:91, Holland 5th, 11:98 for Poly, and Webster 12:46 in 9th for Wilson. The boys 100 has Poly's Malachi Dawson in lane 3, and you see lane 5 empty. That's where Juju Johnson qualified. Best wishes certainly for a speedy recovery for him. Some foreshadowing in this race. Poly running versus Rancho Cucamonga, represented by Rodney Sermons, who wins in lane 4 in 10:36. For Dawson and Poly, he's 6th in 10:76, as you can see on the big board. 2 Wilson Bruins in the girls 800. Sophomores Shariah Lewis-Williams out in front with classmate Riley Jones right there with her, as those two are 1-2, just like their numbers would indicate, as they finish off the first 400 in the lead. But competition was lurking. It would be Braylon Comby from Corona Santiago with the big final kick to jump in front for the win. Still a strong showing for Wilson's 10th graders. Lewis Williams 2:11.72 to finish 2nd. Jones 4th in 2:13.41. Now the boys 800 with the brothers Obando from Wilson. Cash shown first, and out in the front is Weiland. Weiland with the lead at the midway point. You can see Cash in the mix, not too far back as well. On the final 100, Weiland holding off a charge from Beckett Sullivan from Riverside Poly. He's got 2 last names and hell of a kick, but Wilson's Jr. is able to defend his CIF title, 151.01, shaving a second off last year's time. Cash in 9th, and a second straight gold in the 800 for Weiland Obando, continuing his great career. Now to the 300 hurdles, Wilson's Jemiah Sanders in lane 1, Poly's Miana Gramada Massey in lane 3, Wilson's Sanaya Bernardo in lane 4. Lane 5, Poly's Cadence Bain, Poly's Joy Anderson in lane 6, and in lane 7, it's Wilson's Kaylin Edwards, lane 8, Wilson's Aileen Washington. That's right, 7 of the 9 runners in this race are from the Moore League. I'm exhausted. Edwards might be in lane 7, but she's going to jump out with the quick lead, able to make up the stagger right away and get a nice advantage coming around the curve. But obviously you can never take anything for granted in the hurdles. Anderson in 2nd for Poly, just coming over from the high jump to run this race, as Wilson's Washington closing up as well. Here comes the sophomore Bain for Poly, moving into 3rd for the final 100. Edwards still comfortably in front, as Washington now starting to push for that 2nd spot. Edwards going to pull away and take gold in 41.24. Another impressive win for her. Washington clips the last hurdle and drops from 2nd down to 6th in 44.81. Bain was 2nd, 42.97. Bernardo 3rd, 43.29. Anderson 4th in 43.38. Sanders 7th, 44.99. Gramada Massey 8th, 45 flat. Now to the girls 200, Lakewood's Amaya Rice in lane 8, Poly's Araya Betty in 3, and Nevaeh Lewis for the Jackrabbits in lane 1. Poly's Jalen Hunter qualified in lane 4, but that injury earlier took her out of this race. So Rice and Betty going to be out well, representing the Moore League. Keelan Wright, again from Chaparral, going to complete her sprint double, but there is a close race for 3rd. Betty out in front, but Rice with the strong close. We saw this at Moore League Finals when she won that race. She takes 3rd, 24.21. Betty 24.33 in 4th. Lewis 25.08 in 7th. 5 Long Beach guys in the boys 200. Wilson's Kaiser Burrows in lane 9 and Hill for Poly in lane 7. McNeil subbing in for Johnson in lane 4. Malachi Dawson in 3 for Poly, and Caden Burrows in lane 2 for Wilson. The boys team race is close at this point, so Poly could really use some points here. And we've got some previous race winners out in front, as Sermons and Stadelman are in the lead. Track Rabbits in the black jerseys trying to hang in there. Dawson, top Long Beach finisher in 4th, 21.72. Burrows 5th, 21.77. Hill 6th, 21.86. McNeil 8th, 21.98. And Kaiser Burrows 21.99 in 9th. We journey over to the jump pit where Wilson Jr. Journey Spencer is there in the triple jump. She wanted to go over 38 feet and felt like that could win it. Well, she did, and she was right. 38.6.5 was her mark. All smiles atop the podium. Another individual gold for the Bruins in the jumps. Now back to the traction in the girls 3200. Wilson's Nadia Mejia in the all-white with the pink socks. Sitting 8th after the first couple laps, found her trio pack to run with and would gradually pick them off. Moving up to 7th, going into the final lap, and her last kick easily pushes her past Huntington Beach's Sydney Rubio for a 6th place finish to get her on the podium. Her time was 10:52.58 for the Wilson Jr. Girls 4x4, Wilson girls already team champs at this point in lane 4, Poly girls in lane 6. Both Long Beach teams going to make up their staggers quickly and get to the front of the pack. Brooke Blue with a great first leg for Wilson to put them in the lead. Gives it off to Shariah Lewis-Williams. A few seconds ahead of Polly as Zariah Betty hands to Bree Wells for the second leg. Lewis-Williams took silver in the 800 earlier, and she preserves that Wilson lead. Going to hand off to the Kentucky-bound Aileen Washington. Polly behind Trabuco Hills in third as Aaliyah Stokes is going to be next to take the baton. Washington keeps the Bruins well clear in first with another solid leg, but you can see Polly at this point has moved into second place. The 300 hurdles, well, the double hurdles champ Kaylin Edwards going to anchor this thing for Wilson as Polly's Nevaeh Lewis looking to at least preserve second place. Edwards one last trip around the oval as she brings Wilson home. Another gold to finish off that team title. 3:45.84 to win by more than 6 seconds. Lewis is able to deliver the silver for Polly as they run a 3:52.25, obviously without Hunter. Bruins with an impressive team showing as they claim their second CIF gold in the past 3 years. Now to the boys 4x4. Wilson in lane 4, but the focus is on the title chase for Polly, having some work to do, currently in third, but can jump into first pretty easily in this race if they do what they need to do, but Rancho Cucamonga within striking distance, so Polly definitely has to take care of business in this race. And we're off. Gus Armstrong for Polly, Charles Chapman for Wilson. Armstrong, more like start strong, or Armstrong, strong leg. You get it. Polly in the lead after a great first 400 by him. Hands off to Jarris Hill. Wilson's got Kaiser Burrows running next. Junior Rodney Sermons from Rancho Cucamonga pulls them into the lead. The sprint double went his way earlier, and he keeps working pretty much neck and neck when Darion Shufford gets the stick. Caden Burrows looking to get Wilson back into the mix as well. And the big anchor coming for Noah Smith for Polly, Wyland Obando lurking for Wilson. Shufford has Polly in front, but Burrows a crazy good third, and now Wilson is on their heels for second place. If Rancho Cucamonga wins and Polly falls to third, they would lose the title. So the Long Beach squad's to the front for the exciting anchor leg. Smith still in the lead, but he's got 2 over his shoulder like Timmy Turner. Can he hold them off? Looks like a rematch of Moore League Finals with Rancho Cucamonga mixed in, but Smith would hold on for the gold. 3:13.20. Wilson 3:13.56. Rancho Cucamonga 3:13.63. Jackrabbits slide into first and claim that gold plaque. They're third in a row and 19th in program history. Noah Smith and Jonathan Weston going to claim it, but it's like, hey, where's everybody else at? I want the team. Oh, there they are. Polly runner-up in Division I girls. The 3rd straight year they've taken home 2 plaques from this meet. 8th straight season with a top 2 finish for the girls. Polly continues to do great things, and congrats once again to the Wilson girls and coaches Shannon Fisher and Neil Nelson. 2-time defending state champs claim their 7th CIF Southern Section gold, scoring 107 points, the most ever in program history. Wow, what a CIF finals. We've got state coming up in 2 weeks, and you know that the 562 is going to be there for all the coverage.